She's a brick house. Wait, is that backwards? It's backwards. It's only backward. It's only backwards to me. I'm off to a really good start this morning. We're gonna talk about goals.
Come over here, sit next to me. You can see where things go naturally. Just say the word and I'll part the sea. Just come over here and sit next to me. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Find my attention, got your man aligned and chalk. It's a midnight intervention.
Okay, so I was thinking about what I wanted to do my next vlog on. I did think about the importance of like what it is as you're kind of building your musicianship and you're kind of building the artist that you want to be and the brand that you want. I thought about how important it is to have your goals aligned and to know what you want to go after. I don't know what I'm doing sometimes. I don't. However, I do know like my end goals. I know what I want to work toward. I would say I came up with it, but I didn't. I heard it from a friend. Shout out friends. It's important to surround yourself with people who are dreamers and workers, and I wrote that literally at the top of my page if you caught that. But people who are pushing you in your goals and helping you recognize that you are good enough to achieve them. Something that I really push in the classroom and that I learned from a friend was the analogy of laying bricks. I think it's important to remember that we aren't superheroes, though I would really love to be Wonder Woman. That would make life really great. We can't do everything in a day. Like, no matter how much we want to, we're not able to. And that success usually very, very rarely comes overnight. Most people are working really hard at something and then they get seen. Every once in a blue moon, you have somebody who was an overnight success, but I think most times people are putting in a lot of work behind the scenes and we just don't see it. And again, not always, but that's what I think. And so it's important to remember that since you can't do everything in a day, what are your big overarching goals, and can you lay a brick down each day for that specific big goal? And I've taught that with some of my students too, because when they're super overwhelmed and they're like, I just can't get everything done, I can't, how am I supposed to like get all my lines memorized and get ready for the show and have auditions, as well as do my homework and my grades, work a job, have family and friend time, and the other goals that they might have, physical goals, trying to be in shape and everything else. It can get overwhelming, and I think sometimes you just have to lay a brick down. I have my trusty notebook.
Our handy dandy notebook.
That's my lyric book, as well as my, it's like a journal, goal book, everything as well. And I carry it with me everywhere I go. Some days I use it, some days I don't. And it just is something that I always have with me. Have my awesome trusty pens with me. I'm not big enough to like give a shout out to any product, but I would product sell for them. I say that a lot, and I don't have any connection to product selling. I just really like their pens. I carry this book around with me, and I write down a lot of my goals and I check them off. I have things that are specifically my bricks. I know that I want to build a house where I have a strong sense of health. Having Lyme disease, I get tired really, really easily, and I get sick a little easier in some ways too. Having that doesn't mean that I can't push myself and work out. It just means I have to be careful. And I have Lyme. I'm really, really lucky that I have I'm very functional even with Lyme. So I have certain goals for me overall of where I want to be with my physical, but every day I just have to lay on a brick. And maybe my brick one day is I want to work out 30 or 45 minutes. A brick is I want to make sure that I drink a gallon of water. I want to get 7 to 8 hours of sleep. Usually I'm laying like multiple bricks, but I don't beat myself up as long as I lay one brick. However, me and the achiever that I am, I usually say like I want to lay at least like 5 bricks down. That goes with like eating, exercise, drinking enough water, getting enough sleep, and taking time to do like some mental health, which kind of goes not into the physical but into the physical, but just kind of like building myself up. Within your music career, it's the same kind of thing. You want to lay a brick or two every single day. And whether that's I need to practice singing every single day, and that's a brick that is non-negotiable for me. I love singing, so it's not hard to practice. It's like showing up at a job that I adore, so it's not even like work. But I sing every single day. At least, I say at least a half an hour. I probably sing way more than that. I mean, I do sing way more than that. That's one brick that I have to lay down. Other bricks that I can lay down, maybe it's a lyric day, and I make sure that I want to write for at least a half an hour, or I say at least a page of ideas for writing and song lyrics. Maybe another one is I lay a brick by recording a song, and that's the brick that I lay that day. I lay a brick by working on a cover. Like, that's not a personal song, but like a cover, which still counts. And that's a brick that I lay that day. I book some shows for the month, or I send out all the emails to book the shows for the month, or to the other artists that I want to book. Knowing what bricks you want to lay and having like, I have like a list of what potential bricks could be and what I know I need to do to achieve the bigger goals. And then I make sure I lay those bricks throughout the week so that the foundation for my next month and for my house is built. Eventually, I want to build a mansion of music. Oh, so cheesy. I don't know where I come up with this stuff. Eventually, I want to build my own palace of music for myself. My own goal is to have my big structure. I just keep every single day laying a new brick. I make sure I sing every day, and I make sure I accomplish something else from my list. And I know that that's good enough. I think sometimes we get on ourselves, and it's good to push yourself, but it's also good to recognize that you are enough. We live in a world that I think is constantly teaching us that we're not enough, we're not pretty enough, or smart enough, or talented enough. And there's always somebody telling us that, or we feel like someone is telling us that through social media or the television or whatever else it might be. I don't think there's always necessarily someone literally telling us we're going to fail or that we're not good enough. But I think our perceptions sometimes have that happen when we're surrounded by so much comparison. You just have to make sure that you're building your bricks and not worried about somebody else's bricks. And you know what? Some people are going to build their house faster. I have learned that, especially in the physical sphere, just because that's another place I have huge goals, my bricklaying, I do it every day. And I'm not perfect, but it's harder for me to get some bricks laid because of lime. And that's okay. But I have to be dedicated, and I have to remember that, and I have to really, really push myself. Musically, I think if you remember that you can build bricks from singing, songwriting, playing your instrument, booking shows, reaching out to other artists, doing collaborations, even sometimes as simple as if, you know what, you posted a picture of you playing guitar on social media and you're like, I'm building my brand, Brick, today. If that's what you can do that day, that's okay. I've played shows too, and that can be a really great way to lay a brick. And I sang some of my own songs recently. Makes me so happy.
Outside looking in, I only wish I could begin again with all I see now. My heart never would give him such power, but I chose him anyway. And now my heart has to pay.
It's cool to be able to do my own songs. I don't mind people writing songs for me and whatever, that would be fine. But it is kind of cool to be able to put my own emotionalness and vulnerability and my own thoughts down on paper and put them into a song. It feels I've accomplished something that's really, really cool. And then performing it for an audience feels awesome. It's great to constantly push yourself more and more. It's also good to recognize that you are enough and that you're capable and you're strong. Goal setting is really, really easy for me, but it's not always easy for me to stay consistent in those goals. You have to have things that are driving you towards. I have a vision board, and I apologize that it's kind of dark and the sound is weird now, probably. But I need to redo it because I redid it a long time ago. But it has things with like my physical goals and whatever, right? Music goals are kind of more separate, and then some of my spiritual goals, and then overarching themes. Vision board, if you look up how to do it, is really easy. It's quotes, pictures, and things that drive you. And I have this in front of my dresser, so I see it every day. I also have in my bathroom up here goals that I've written on my mirror, and understanding like my goals better and reading them while I do my makeup and things like that kind of helps as well. And this cute board that my sister-in-law gave me. I have a Zen calendar, and so when there's a really cool Zen thing that shows up, I cut it out. As well as those red tags. Some of my students wrote me a little like sayings jar last year, and I pull a new one out each week. So I'm really into like quotes and things. That helps me. You have to figure out what helps you. I strongly believe that as you set more goals and you recognize that laying a brick is enough, you can achieve so much more. So I'm laying a lot of bricks today. That's awesome. I'm going to New York at the end of the week to see some Broadway shows with my students. And I kind of almost count that as a brick sometimes. That might seem excuse-wise, but because those things are so inspiring to me. Every time I walk away from a concert or a Broadway show, I'm so charged. And so that experience is going to be great for me, but I know there are going to be some other bricks that suffer, right? I am going to get up every morning and work out, and I'm going to be walking all around the city, but I know I'm going to maybe eat some treats. You've got to make sure that you feel comfortable with the bricks you're laying. If you don't feel comfortable, that's when a change needs to be made. If it's because someone else is making a comment, they don't matter. They don't. You have to start realizing that other people's opinions don't matter. And I think that's the most important thing you can recognize from this is I lay my bricks and I feel good about myself. And if you feel happy with what you've accomplished, that's what matters. As a theater teacher, I struggle a lot watching my students hurt when they don't do well at competitions and things, or they don't get the comments or the feedback that they want. I watch even when I don't give them great feedback and they are hurt like a little bit, like I can tell that they feel sad that they didn't do as well as they wanted to do. And I care about them and I feel for them. I always ask them, do you feel good about what you did? Do you feel like it's enough? Especially after competitions, they get feedback papers from judges, and I'm before they even get the feedback papers, before they do, I always ask them, do you feel good about what you just did? Do you feel like it was enough? Are you proud of what art you put forward? And they're like, yeah, I really am. Then that's all that matters. Take what the judges say, use it to shape and help your experience next time. But you have to be proud of what you walked away. If you know you didn't put the good work enough, like you didn't put enough work in, then yeah, that's something that you need to recognize as well and lay more bricks down next time. But you have to be proud of your work. You are enough. And I can't push that enough. It sounds so cheesy, but we are enough. And I don't always feel that way. There are days that I don't feel that way. And it's nice to have reminders like this. And if I can be your reminder, if I can tell you you're enough, I will be that person to tell you you are enough, because I truly believe that every person is good enough to do whatever they want, to follow their dreams. Thank you guys for watching today. I hope I was able to give you some tidbit of knowledge. The brick analogy, write down your bricks and follow them every day and just lay down one, and that's enough. And recognize that you have to lay a brick down though if you want to be successful, but you can do that. That's what I have for you guys today. Ooh. If you like what you hear, go ahead and subscribe. I'll be still vlogging, putting up covers. I'm going to be releasing my second single in 3 weeks. April 25th! It's called Stone. You can see a sneak peek of it on the video before. And I'm just so excited for you guys to see it. I loved What Could Be and I loved what I did with that. But this next single means a lot to me. And it was more vulnerable, and I'm getting better at writing more vulnerably, with vulnerability. I'm getting better at being more honest with my feelings and expressing them even when they're hard. And this was a hard song to write, but it was a really powerful song for me to write for me. So I hope that you enjoy it. Go check out the sneak peek of it. It's like a clip from one of my live performances into part of the recorded. It's kind of cool. So go and check that out from earlier in the week, and know that I love you guys. I appreciate you. Subscribe below and let me know what you would love to hear next. Thanks and have a great week.
You better than that.